Hello and welcome to today's Ignite community call. Today is July 27th, 2024, and I'm your host today, Tobias Schwarz. I'm the solutions engineer at Ignite. This, as always, first off, this is supposed to be a community call. The whole community is welcome to join and ask questions. I'll start with presenting a couple of news out of the Ignite team, and then we'll end with an open question and answers. So if you have questions about what I'm talking about, feel free to interrupt me and we can discuss everything. So what happened in the last month since the latest community call? We have released the newest Ignite version 28.5. So everyone should be upgrading. It's become much more quick. I'll introduce a couple of points later. We have a new bounty with Ignite that we will walk through, and you can learn how to get that bounty on building what. You can build consumer chains with the Ignite CLI. We are talking more about extensions and apps. We have mentioned them last time, so there has been some progress. We'll talk shortly about upcoming events and announcements, and we still have the developer survey for you to fill out. So what happened in the latest version 28.5 from 28.4, which has, in general, the version 28 had a significant leap because you are working with the Cosmos SDK version 0.50 and above. Currently, all the chains in the Cosmos ecosystem are upgrading to the version 0.50. It brings a lot of new improvements. So make sure to work, especially if you're starting out, to work with the latest Ignite version. So you are working with the Cosmos SDK version 0.50 and later. There is now, as long as I'm aware, the LTS version is also the version 0.50. So this will bring you the best support also in other Cosmos channels after you've built your chain with Ignite CLI. For us, this means we've also improved protobuf generation, which is much quicker now. The scaffolded chains come now with the latest version of the Cosmos SDK, of IBC, of Comet BFT and their dependencies. And we have fixed a few errors in the scaffolding chain, which was preventing a chain to upgrade. So make sure to use version 28.5 so you can have benefits of the latest version and then all the errors already fixed. So head over to github.com/ignite/CLI. On there you find instructions on how to upgrade and what methods there are to install Ignite CLI. Let's get to speak of the bounty. So there's a new bounty which is being organized by Julian. I luckily have him in the call today, so maybe he wants to quickly go over this bounty. You will find it on github.com/ignite/CLI in the issue 4244. So if we bring this up, or maybe, I'm not sure if Julian maybe wants to share his screen and talk you through the requirements and what the evaluation criteria are.
Hi everyone. I'm not able to share my screen actually currently, so it's very handy that that it's being shown. But yeah, okay, let's explain. So basically, there is a bounty of $3,000 US for adding a feature to Ignite. And this feature is meant to improve the creation of a testnet and plus testnet that will basically clone the mainnet state. So the SDK added recently some helpers to do that, and those helpers need to be wired into Ignite directly and scaffolded as well into each Ignite chains. So there's a few things you have to do. You have to modify a place, the app creation, where you will be adding a new command on the chain. And as well, when you're actually swapping, when you're actually running the mainnet state, some modification to the state.
Is this my internet or have we lost Julian?
I think we lost Julian. I mean, he's there, but we don't hear him.
Of this,
Julian, we've lost you the last minute. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Well, where was I? I will just repeat myself.
Okay. Thank you.
In the application notification, it is the place where you have to make basically the swap the validator and do some cleanup into the state, so that you can locally run the chain as if it was as if you were like the lone validator, let's say. And then there is a last point, which is adding a new comment directly into Ignite. So we can as well make it even easier to use this feature, because like there is some wiring that has to happen at, but Ignite can then automatically run the command needed and automatically download the state for somewhere if it's from a mainnet that is already where launched, well, and it has available node in the cross-version history, etc. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There is like examples already available of in live chains such as Osmosis. There's example as well in the SDK and documentation. So it should be a straightforward implementation in Ignite, following the SDK docs. But it's as well a good way to get used to the Ignite code base and eventually contribute more into it in the future, improving the UX for every Cosmos SDK developers.
Amazing. Thank you, Julian. I think there was a question.
Yeah, I was asking if the process for sort of expressing interest is the same.
You just have to answer with a proposal of how you think you're going to implement it, so we know you a bit. Like you will need some research to check a bit if you're going to be able to implement it in the issue, and then we'll just pick up one implementer in the issue. I'm not sure if it's first come, first serve. I think we're just going to study the proposals and check which one makes them best sense for Ignite.
Okay, you mean proposals on GitHub, right? Not on
Discord.
Discord.
Yes, in the issue. If you just send a message in the issue and say, okay, I want to do this, this is how I'll do it. We'll just contact you if you're awarded the bounty.
All right, great.
Great. Thank you for walking us through, Julian, and for creating this good proposal. Looking forward to implementations. So make sure to visit github.com/ignite/issues/4244, and you will see the issue we just brought up, and then you can walk through and with a bit more time and look at all the references and additional resources. So we have, I think, talked about this in the past, that you can build consumer chains with Ignite CLI, and I just want to bring this back to you. There will be also a tutorial coming very shortly within the next week that walks you through actually also creating provider chains and then hooking up that consumer chain with an existing chain. So if you want to do that, if you want to scaffold a new consumer chain, just make sure to use the --consumer flag on your scaffolding, and then you're left with a consumer chain, and then start hacking from there and implement your logic, and then you can hook it up to a provider chain. That usually happens on live chains by a governance proposal, and then every validator, if it passes, will be forced to run your chain as well. We are still working a lot on apps and extensions, which are the design for them is to make your life easier. So if you have any ideas what to work for, feel free to create your own extension. I have created one, and as reference implementation, you can still look at Blocky, which sits over at my GitHub profile, which is github.com/toshdev/blocky. But there's also from the Ignite team a couple of great projects in progress. which is the spaceship and the connect extensions or apps. Spaceship will intend you to help putting your chain on a VPS, so you can run it on in the cloud and it constantly runs. And Connect will be helpful to you if you want to connect to existing Cosmos chains and make queries, or just be in touch with them and connect with them, as the name says. And if you're working on your own app or extension, make sure to the module registry is its own app or extension which is intended to help you add modules, find modules, or remove them from your existing blockchain. And we also have a registry for apps or extensions. So head over to github.com/ignite/apps, and then in the _ registry, you find the application registry. So if you have created an Ignite app that extends the usage of Ignite, then please list them here as one of your apps, and so we can easily find them and identify them as an Ignite extension or app. About events, Julian was present at the Nebula Summit. Thanks a lot, Julian, for attending and for speaking there. This happened on July 20th and 30th in Brussels. And we will host a Ignite site event in Berlin, which will be happening in August 20th. So if you are close to Berlin, or if you are at the Web3 Summit already, we will communicate about slots that you can book to attend, and we'll be on stage and present for you in person, so you can talk to us and talk about Ignite or your endeavors in building blockchains with Ignite CLI. If you experience any problems or just seek general help, we will be there for you. We are working out the tutorials platform for Ignite. Head over to tutorials.ignite.com, and there you'll find a lot of tutorials that we have written for you. And don't forget to subscribe as well to tutorials.ignite.com, so you can get alerted for every new tutorial that is being published. We have just published a new tutorial on the governance module, creating and managing proposals. Why is this important? If you want to upgrade your chain, which is already running, let's say you have a testnet with already 2, 3, 4, 5 validators running, then you want them to synchronize on a upgrade that's coming. This is standard procedure in the Cosmos ecosystem. Every chain that is live does it that way. So practicing on a testnet is not a bad idea. And in here, there is a very cool CLI tool that will help you, which is called on any chain that you create, you have this automatically with your Ignite chain or any other Cosmos chain out there. You have the command for transaction draft proposal. And this will help you draft a proposal and will leave you with the JSON that is necessary to use in order to upload a proposal to the chain. So this is a walkthrough software which will help you create proposals such as a community pool spend proposal, or a software upgrade proposal, a canceled software upgrade proposals. The tutorial walks you through most of them, not particularly the community pool spend proposal, but this is very similar to a text proposal. So feel free to test it out for general proposals or upgrading your chains. I think since the last time we have 2 other tutorials for you. One of them explains how to use the gen_mig_diff tool, which is also helpful for upgrading your blockchain. Let's say you're stuck in a Cosmos SDK version 0.30, a bit longer ago, and you want to upgrade to version 0.50. What this tool does, it scaffolds new chains from an earlier version and a newer version for you, and then makes a diff to show you the differences in a just freshly scaffolded chain, so you can see what's necessary and what has changed. And also for upgrading, because these questions get asked a lot on our Discord, there is a spotlight on how to do version control with your GitHub repository, so that also the binaries get the right version and so forth, which is just handy for you when you are controlling chains, when you're controlling GitHub repositories in order to upgrade. So the last three tutorials focused on upgrades. I hope this covers most of the aspects that you'll ever need. And probably the next tutorials will be around modules again, and what was the other tutorial? About the consumer chains that will be happening probably next week. So don't forget to subscribe to tutorials.ignite.com. Also, we have a developer survey which is ongoing. Please help us understand what you find great in Ignite, what you want to change. I'm quickly posting this into the chat again, so everyone who is at least in this call has easy access to the survey. We very much appreciate if you fill this out and let us know what you think about this software. That's already latest news from the Ignite team. I want to open the floors to all the questions that you have and that we might dig into. Thanks for listening.
So I suppose I can start now, Tobias. So first thing first, congratulations for delivering these new features.
Thank you.
Assume that I don't have any prior Cosmos experience because I'm coming from an EVM background. Maybe I can share my screen. That can be easier for us to understand what's the problem. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, should be there. Can you see it?
Yes.
Perfect. So I've been following this tutorial on developing a new client app. I've been using the React frontend section, scaffolding the React app, and then generating the hooks. But when I'm trying to run the blockchain and then run the React app, I'm stuck with this error.
Yes. Are you the one that submitted an issue on GitHub?
Yeah.
There is indeed an issue that's been submitted recently. This is a bug. It's not supposed to happen. We need to fix it. Basically, with some, not the latest change, with some change with the port generator that broke the hooks and how the TS client is working. We need to look into that and fix it and ship it for the next after patch release. This is still being investigated on our side. We have a bunch of changes to make. We expect it to be fixed soon. So right now, actually, as we don't have a fix, you just have to wait until we push that. There's no really a workaround for it. It's just breaking the whole front end.
Okay, makes sense. So I have to wait like few more weeks, or is it just something that can be fixed easier?
Probably a week or two. Yeah, just depending on. We need to upgrade a bunch of stuff. Release makes a few release. So I'll say maybe about a week. Yeah.
So
at the worst case scenario.
Okay, thanks a lot. So I'm a little bit confused because I didn't open any GitHub issue. I was asking about this problem on your Discord. So maybe there's a chance that's a different issue, or
yeah, it's the same issue actually. I think you are encountering the bug. So we are basically going to fix it and then iron that so it doesn't happen again. So it's like been checking CI as well. So yeah, this is I think the bug I've been open like last week on GitHub or a week ago, and I've been talking with the front-end team, the front-end person at Ignite to look into how to resolve this as best as we can so it doesn't happen again. So I'm on my phone, so I don't really have the issue with me, but it's one of the most recent issue in the in GitHub or in the Ignite repository that you can find.
Okay, should it be on the CLI one or?
On the CLI one.
Okay, thanks a lot. Then I will check it out, and yeah, waiting for you to push a fix.
Yeah, we'll do as fast as we can.
So this got introduced with version 28.5.
No, it was from an earlier version actually. So that's the thing. We need to try a bunch of things.
Because I tried the React frontend on 28.4 and it was actually working fine.
Are you sure? I mean, I've been trying multiple times, like deleting the React folder, also the hooks and the TS client, rerun, the CLI command, and still the same problem.
I'll just imitate the code with us right now, and this can take like 3-4 minutes, but let's just try to reproduce the issue. So ignite scaffold chain, and let's call it I'm out of creativity. Thursday.
Or hello world.
I do have so many hello words. I want to city then Thursday, but yeah. So let's bring up the docs. Okay, we're doing this, and then afterwards we do this, and then follow actually the two commands here. Meanwhile, I'm not sure how much sense it makes, but to answer other questions, meanwhile, Julian has shared the issue. If you want to look at this, Gabriel, meanwhile, scaffolding always takes a minute. But I'm currently on 28.5.
Seems like that's a different issue, but let's see how it goes. Hopefully that's a problem on how I managed to actually implement the blockchain, but I'm not sure because I followed your tutorial on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the issue process is a bit different, but eventually when you fix that issue, you get the hook issue you have. So it's being bootstrapped there. So I have been looking into it, so if you follow this issue on GitHub, I'll open a PR that close this, so you'll be notified as well.
Okay, we have the React directory now.
Also, is there any guide on how to integrate like unit tests, or for example, for like to cover message storage, retrieval, and query endpoints?
For the front end or for your chain?
For my chain.
Yeah, in the tutorials, there is a brief introduction. It's not too much in depth, but it's a good starting point. Okay, I think from here we can run the chain. We could set up a couple of accounts, but this is npm install, npm run dev should be the way to go after this works. And let's see if I happen to run into the same error.
Hopefully not, but
A lot of building and installing.
is this the one you're saying about?
Yeah,
Okay, because that's a really short one. So
yeah, it's very basic. I intend to write a bit more, but with time.
If you want a more in-depth tutorial on how to unit test, the Cosmos SDK documentation has some pointers there where you do unit tests, when you do integration tests, when you have to do end-to-end tests with some examples. Yes, exactly.
great. By the way, thanks for taking the time to assist me.
You're very welcome. This is still loading, right?
Yeah, I had to wait some time also, so
Yeah. I think I remember it's just waiting now. Did you try out other scripts from the package, Jason?
like which one?
Maybe preview?
Not really.
Okay.
But I do have like a lot of errors on the module file inside the TS client, so it seems like the imports are wrong.
Yeah, I think I remember several users complaining, but every time I tried it, it just happened to work.
Maybe on Thursday it works. I'll try.
Exactly. Fingers crossed.
Can it be because of how I actually integrated my keeper. I mean, seems like we have something.
There we go. Let's try. Yeah, this looks like what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. So what happens?
Yeah, so that's what we've been investigating. We just have to make some change in the TS. Some change happened in the pro generation, but not introduced with the improvement from last version, from other
Okay.
versions. So this is not like a bug introduced, what apparently was there since bit. So we're investigating the root issue, fixing it, and we'll push a change. But it will take. We're going to as well improve the front end as well, as it's a bit out of date. But there will be a patch release containing the fix for sure.
Okay, thanks a lot, Julian, for the update. And Gabriel, a little bit patience and we'll get there.
Quick question. So what if I'm going to use like an older version, for example, v27? Should it work or?
Yes, but you don't really want to do that because the major version of this is bound to like the SDK version, which means you'll be using Cosmos SDK v47, which is okay, but Ignite maintains only the latest version of the CLI, and in our case v28, so you will not receive any updates for the rising and stuff like that. So we'll have you to just wait a tiny bit until we release a patch, and in the meantime, you can always do things like
Okay, thanks.
module or whatever. But I'll just increase this priority on this issue and try to get out the fixes, spend as much as we can then.
Okay, thanks again.
Awesome. Thanks both of you. Yeah, let's get this fixed ASAP. Any other questions?
So I'm going to leave now. Have a nice one.
Bye.
All right.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you.
Bye-bye.
I just had a quick question for you, Tosin. I don't know if you're able to talk, but are you I think one time you had mentioned you might be working on an app, an Ignite app, or an app. Is that the case?
I was going through the documentation and just sort of playing with it. I wasn't building anything in particular.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And how are you finding it? The documentation.
Quite interesting. I wish there was a bit more, maybe tutorial stuff.
For apps specifically?
Yeah, for apps specifically. Just for ideas on things to build.
Yeah, we can consider publishing a list of ideas to build because we have one internally.
Yeah, that would be great.
We have the ideas. We just don't always have the time. So yeah. And yeah, and I think we could consider in the future like making app bounties as well. We just focused on the one Julian talked about, and then maybe we will build that out over time too. So,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, you can also start researching. We are planning in Q3, maybe Q4, and maybe there will be more action around apps extensions and some bounties.
We might just start calling them app extensions. Ignite app extensions. Anyway.
Well, if there's no further questions, then I'm calling it a wrap.
Thanks everyone for your time. Thank you, Tobias and Julian. Thank you, Tos and Vishu.
Thanks, everyone, and
Bye.
see you on the next community call in a month.
All right. Bye.
Bye.